So, Marie, how are you feeling?
I am pleasantly surprised.
Why pleasantly surprised?
Well, I had 31% in the primary in the last race, and it's really encouraging to see that folks are responding and standing with me in the fight against a very weird dude.
What do you think is resonating with the voters from your campaign?
That I am not here to play partisan football. I'm here because I love our community, and I'm proud of who we are, and I know that our country would be stronger if our values were the ones that were dominant in the power structure in D.C.
So going forward, what does the messaging of your campaign look like until the general?
The same. I am who I am, and I am a product of our values here, and I don't think people want anybody, like, they don't want a chameleon. They want somebody that is proud of who we are and are going to fight for us. And so we're going to communicate that I am sincere. I am an intimate voice for our community. I'm not trying to paint anything red or blue or purple. I'm here to make sure that we are taking care of our families and our community, that we are growing the trades, that we're ensuring there's a level playing field for small businesses, that young kids in the trades can go out and start their own businesses and build their own houses, and that, we're not getting turned into a society of consumers, but of people that make things and believe in making things that last.
And the election is pretty tight so far, and it may be in November. What are you doing to sort of meet people who are either undecided or who may not even vote?
Yeah, people that are progressive, conservative, independent, whatever you are, we've got to get beyond these labels. We've got to say, how do we fix things? Like, how do we get out of this gridlock? And so talking about my work, bringing back our federal tax dollars to build things that last, like the I-5 bridge, placing that, doing the work to support our veterans' health, doing the work to support the trades, shop class, and junior high. Like, those are the things that people want to see.
That's great. What main issues, or maybe one issue, do you agree with Republicans and one with Democrats, would you say?
I don't even think it's partisan, but I'm really tired of being gaslighted into saying that cost of living isn't a problem. It's a problem. People's car insurance is the same as their car payment. People are putting their groceries on their credit card. That's a problem. It's a problem when there are no starter homes to buy. And so thinking about how we rebuild wealth in the middle class, how we grow our economy, those are the things that we have got to unify around.
And, we spoke about this a little bit earlier today, but you were talking about the importance of being able to buy a home. Tell us a little bit about why that's important.
Home ownership is one of the ways that we build wealth and move wealth through generations. It's also part of our identity of people that know how to make stuff. And when I'm talking to kids in shop class, I need to be confident that they're going to be able to go out and deploy those skills to support their families, that we have many paths to a secure middle class existence, not just a college degree. We have got to break the credentialing cycle. We've got to do the work that, like, why don't our washers and dryers last for more than 3 years? And maybe that's small to some people, but it's not small to me. Those big bills are a real problem. And I think it's part of the hopelessness that we see in mental health crises. And so all of this is united. Like, all of this plays together. And we don't need more people talking about things that divide us. I don't want to look at somebody's bumper sticker before I decide if I'm going to pull them out of a ditch. Like, that's not a fun way to live.
So one of the things you also talk about is reproductive rights and the importance to have those, given that Democrats had time, to codify it in the past couple of years. What are you going to do differently to make sure that happens?
Yeah. My opponent wants a national ban on abortion with no exceptions. He wants staffer bros in D.C. to be deciding when we can get that care. And our rights in this state aren't secure. So it's important that we build a majority, that we build the team that is on the side of women and girls, And part of that work is in the House of Representatives.
And my last question to you is about substance use, because you've spoken about, we have to stop fentanyl from coming in. A DEA report shows that fentanyl mostly comes from China. What plans do you have in place to address this?
Yeah, a lot of the precursor chemicals that make fentanyl come from China. And so I've voted repeatedly to fund the highest level of workforce employment in border security. I have fought against administration policies that don't protect our communities. And so it's imperative that we have operational control over the southern border. That's not too much to ask. We don't need to wait for the perfect immigration policy to have operational control over the southern border.
Anything else you'd like to add? Anything that touches on what this race boils down to?
This race is going to be a dogfight rematch between me and a guy that spent the last 2 years picking fights and trying to get popular on Twitter. And I am really proud of standing with my community, not online, but at home, at the grocery store, at daycare drop-off. And it's an honor of a lifetime to get to stay in that fight.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Congresswoman.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
I'm K2 Steve Dunn. For more content like this video and click to subscribe to K2's YouTube channel. And for more in-depth conversations with the candidates, watch Your Voice, Your Vote Sundays at 9 a.m. For continuing coverage of the 2024 election and beyond, visit KATU.com.